So we've talked a lot about global trends, and now we want to bring it home to Morristown. As Plato said, if people would move the world, they must first move themselves. This clip is intended to show you that the broad set of topics discussed in our previous video are all directly applicable and relevant to the Morristown business community. Morristown has its own economic, social, and environmental issues which you can identify with and take action to harvest those. It is undeniable that businesses must join the recent sustainability movement in order to survive. Nearly every major player in every sector has adopted a sustainability plan. While large corporations grab green headlines, small businesses are not exempt from the sustainability mandate. This has prompted small businesses with even smaller budgets to wonder which practices will customers value the most and which practices have already begun paying dividends.
Clearly, the most popular definition of sustainability is this idea that you behave in a way with your present generation that doesn't harm future generations, that the world can keep going. Well, what does that mean? I've come to think that sustainable practices are ones that make an assumption, which is that you can see things as a whole. It's sort of the opposite of dog eat dog. It's a tough world out there. Every man for himself, all that sort of stuff, which is deep-seated. But you say, well, how can I win, and how can that guy over there win, and that guy over there win? How can I understand what it is they want and need, and they vice versa? And how can we together create something that is kind of a cool legacy for our children, for our grandchildren? So, there's been an unfortunate separation, I think, between the for-profit world and the nonprofit world here. It's almost as if the notion of sustainability is owned by the tree huggers. It's owned by the nonprofit mission-based folks, and that business is business. And of course, this group doesn't understand this group, and vice versa. Well, I see it very differently. I think that you don't have real sustainability unless you find connections among all sectors of society, unless you have some way to say, what is it we want here? And what do we mean by quality of life as opposed to just stuff, goods and profits and growth? What do we mean by quality of life? What do we mean by quality of community? And then what are our roles? A vital civic sector has a huge role in that. It's one of the, I think, great gifts that American democracy has shown, the citizen activism. And of course, businesses, wow, that's the driver. That's where the money is. And happily, a lot of businesses have begun to realize that sustainability is not some crazy environmentalist. It's actually, how do we sensibly approach our own future so we can thrive, and note that we can't thrive unless the community around us can thrive.
So each of us are starting from a very different place in the journey into a sustainable future. There are thousands of global best practice examples that have been underway for a while and have demonstrated their viability. Others have started, but whether they will achieve their intended results has yet to be seen. Still others are only beginning and can benefit from those that have already begun. Avoid the mistakes of those first mover businesses and make your own individual actions more successful.
So we want to give you some examples of sustainability in action here in Morristown, and we figured we'd look at the three primary principles of economics, environment, and social equity. So on the economic side, we've got a couple of examples that are worth mentioning. The Hyatt Hotel, being our global anchor in town, provides an incredible opportunity for local businesses that surround them to garner business from the thousands, tens of thousands of visitors that come from around the world to stay at the Hyatt, a globally recognized brand. And they have an incredible commitment to our community to support the local economy by developing programs to ensure that people get out to the different attractions and businesses within our town. On an environmental level, there are all kinds of practices that can be implemented and are by all types of businesses, from comprehensive recycling programs to energy efficiency to the purchase of green cleaning products and recycled paper. Even simple things like double-sided printing can make a real difference. In the area of social equity, Morristown businesses are also seeing trends emerge, some that have been going on for hundreds of years. Morristown businesses give to the organizations in our community that contribute towards a better quality of life for underserved populations, addressing issues as important as homelessness, hunger, and access to quality education and health care.
So one of the really interesting things we did was we ran 2 customer focus groups with a cross-section of Morristown customers, and we asked them to rank the relative importance to them of quality, sustainability practices, price, and ambiance. And guess what we found? The most important factor was quality, which rated 36%. Sustainability practices gained 25%, and among that, looking at sustainability practices, community engagement was the #1 factor that they all were very excited about. Third factor was price, after sustainability practices and after quality. And the fourth factor was ambiance, which was rated 18%. So when we asked the interviewees in what ways they see socially and environmentally responsible practices making Morristown and its business community stronger, they talked about a number of things. Overall, it creates a healthier environment, jobs, and healthier lives. More specifically, in the economic climate, the real value was seen as the return to a locally owned economy, investing in local businesses. We don't see a lot of national retailers coming to Morristown, so now more local businesses are looking to come to Morristown, such as the Green Product Home Store. And several people talked about the solar project, that the largest public sector solar project in the state of New Jersey is in Morristown, which produces also a large rebate. And from a social side, several people talked about getting business owners to target their philanthropy, to stick to the local charities to create a cyclical effect. And several people talked about the festivals. There's a number of wonderful festivals going on in Morristown, and these include everything from reaching out to local nonprofits, doing safety education, bicycle helmet checks. And what this proves is you can do well by doing good. You can do a good program at a low cost and have it be fun for everyone.